the Weather Xtreme video, the morning edition for Monday, the 27th of February. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather unsettled for the first half of this week. We have potential for severe storms on Wednesday, and then we turn cool again. So let's go in there and check things out this morning. A very fast, active flow pattern across the country early this morning. The first impulse bringing some rain into the state. That was a radar at 5:05, some patchy light rain on the western side of the state. Don't expect any severe weather on the northern half of the state today, but clearly a chance of rain at times. Temperatures to start the day are mostly in the 50s, although some spots are still in the 40s, Gadsden 45. But these numbers are very low, the dew points, and obviously with dew points in the 20s and 30s, there's going to be no severe weather problems where we are today. Those numbers will gradually come up with time with a warm front passing north of the state tonight. There's the watch warning map. Things are fairly quiet for the eastern half of the nation today, but later we could see a few strong storms west and southwest of here. We note in Alabama there is a marginal severe weather threat for this afternoon and tonight for the southwestern counties. This is basically from York and Demopolis and Camden south to Mobile and Bay Minette. And some of the storms there could produce gusty winds, maybe some small hail, but the overall threat is low. Now, tomorrow, there is an active setup west of the state, an enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of Arkansas and Missouri and some of the adjacent states. The standard risk all the way from northeastern Texas up to Indianapolis. But no severe weather expected here. And then on day 3, Wednesday, much of the eastern U.S. with a threat of severe weather, including the deep south. In Alabama, we have the enhanced risk for areas north of a line from near Demopolis to Calera to Talladega, and then over to Piedmont, the areas in the orange there. The standard slight risk as far south as Grove Hill, Greenville, Troy, Eufaula, and then a marginal risk for the rest of the state down in deep south Alabama. And of course, we'll talk about the threat here in just a moment in detail. Rain this week, about 1 inch. This is the rain valid through Monday morning of next week. We'll have the main chance of rain for the next 3 days. Then we go dry and cool for the end of the week and the weekend. So let's dive into this. This is the GFS, the 06E run valid at noon today. Again, a very fast flow across the country, troughing off to the west. And down below that, that lead impulse brings periods of rain today. Rain not all that heavy, no severe weather for the northern half of the state today because of the lower dew points. And again, with the surface, we'll have a warm front pushing northward with time, and that should be north of the state tonight. Then tomorrow, we have an unstable air mass, but there's not really a big trigger for rain. We'll mention a chance of showers and maybe some thunder during the day. Temperatures go back up in the 70s. This is the instability tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, and you can see the air is unstable, but again, the main dynamic forcing is well to the west. The main severe weather threat tomorrow will be Arkansas, Missouri, down into northeast Texas and some of the adjacent states. And that's with a deep 999 millibar low that's over Kansas. Now, this is Wednesday. That main surface low is pretty far north of here. That thing is on the GFS near Buffalo, New York. That's deepening 988 millibars with a trailing front. And often when you see a surface low that far north, that kind of lessens any tornado threat. Let's look at some of the severe weather parameters. This is the low-level jet. 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet off the ground. And this is at midday Wednesday, coming off the high-res NAM. And low-level jet, 50 knots or higher over parts of north and northeast Alabama. You really want to see that more, those barbs more from the south instead of the west like that, again, for a big tornado threat. This is the instability, not overwhelming. 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram at midday, and those numbers should creep up a little bit Wednesday afternoon. This is the storm relative helicity, and those numbers are fairly high over, again, northeast Alabama. And that would suggest that there could be some threat of a tornado, but I'd say the main issue here is going to be from strong straight-line winds. Here's the significant tornado parameter. They peak at about 1 unit over the northern and northeastern counties of the state. And here's your forecast sounding at midday Wednesday. And again, you want to see those lower gates a little more to the southeast. So the deal is on Wednesday, we'll probably have a squall line with strong, maybe damaging straight line winds. The better chance Wednesday afternoon, I'd say noon until maybe 6 or 7 o'clock. Winds could easily exceed 60 miles an hour in some of the line segments. And the chance of a tornado is not zero. There could be an isolated tornado or two, but I think damaging straight-line winds and hail the main issue. So be aware of that, and we'll fine-tune that as we get closer to Wednesday. This Thursday, we are cool and dry. As a cooler air mass drops in here, the high will drop into the low 60s. Then Friday, even colder. That's a 1037 millibar high dropping south. Early Friday morning, we'll be close to freezing. The high will be in the 50s. There are the anomalies, and you can see much of the eastern U.S. below average. And this is Saturday as the weekend begins. I do think we'll have a good chance at a freeze Saturday morning with upper 20s and low 30s. The high Saturday would be in the low 60s. And this is Sunday. We're still cool and dry. Sunday morning, I'd say, will be in the 40s, and the high will be in the 60s. Go to Monday of next week. It's a zonal flow, and moisture starts to increase. There could be a few scattered showers about Monday, and again, the high Monday would be in the upper 60s if this verifies. Here's the end of the forecast period. This is Wednesday of next week, the 8th, troughing on the East Coast, and a new surge of cooler air drops in here. Check the numbers. You can see we warm into the 70s tomorrow and Wednesday, but after that we turn cooler. And again, I would fully expect the chance of a freeze, especially Saturday morning. I know that the Europeans got 37 here, but don't be shocked if that number comes on down. And then more cool air toward the middle part of next week as we get into March. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can catch us this evening on the live stream or on television, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.